Hi, I'm Steve Bodorf. We're snowbirds, originally from Ann Arbor and now from Cleveland, Ohio. Until Reverend Sam asked me to give this testimonial, I never thought much about how church sustains me. I thought of myself as a supporter, not as being supported. I started attending a UU church in the early 1970s. I was recently divorced and out of work, and I was seeking emotional support. I had rejected Christian churches years before and considered myself an atheist. Later, I discovered I was actually a secular humanist. I soon got involved in church retreats and summer camps. I met my wife, Pat Moyer, at a church retreat. As our fortunes improved, we became financial supporters. Eventually, we both became board presidents. The church was our community, and we were part of the backbone, the support. Arriving at MVUU, I joined the greeters and Pat joined the choir. Later came bird parties, Choya Chow Time, Mesquite Madness, and the Sunday Book Group. MVUU was the most welcoming congregation we had known, and we became well integrated. Yet in March of 2020, church community threatened to evaporate. No longer could we gather for Sunday practice or even for smaller events. What would become of church? The first Zoom coffee hour really surprised me. I was thrown into a breakout group with strangers. Where was the security of coffee and a cookie with an old friend? But I got to know 4 more people. In a few weeks, I realized this was the silver lining of the pandemic. We now had more fellowship than coffee with 50 people ever provided. Thank you, MVUU. Then came the Caring Heart Circles. We volunteered to be part of a group of 7 people living roughly in the same area. We met weekly to share our experiences and provide support. We vary from young mothers to octogenarians, but we share values that make conversation easy, yet deep and meaningful. Thank you, MVUU. It strikes me that these group activities are what create and grow community. Coffee hour, neighborhood circles, potlucks, men's and women's group, book groups, poetry groups, to name a few. These more intimate experiences are causing our allegiance to shift westward. We are increasing our commitment to MVUU, and our 2021 to 22 pledge will show it. I look forward to the future when we can all get together again. In the meantime, I offer you all a big virtual hug.
I'm Chuck Tatum. Ann and I have been members of this congregation since the late 1980s. We were a part of a group of folks who bought the Cromwell property, who called our first settled minister, who held a successful capital campaign, and other endeavors. We've seen our membership grow dramatically, shrink, and then grow again. Our MVU family is now on the cusp of a new era as we look forward to being in our beautiful new building, beginning a search for a settled minister, and exploring how we can grow our love among friends and members, and at the same time, reach out in meaningful ways to our Flowing Wells neighbors. As Stewardship Chair, I'm encouraged and inspired as we begin this new era together. As Coordinator of Adult Education and Outreach, I'm excited about how we can become, in our new home, a neighborhood resource. The board has recently approved a Flowing Wells Schools MVUU partnership. Over a dozen of you have stepped forward to be part of the social justice ministry that has already supported Hendricks and Laguna Elementary Schools and will do much more as COVID wanes. I'm excited about ways in which we can learn more about our surrounding community by, for example, hosting educational, political, and cultural leaders and events. Wouldn't it be wonderful, for example, to have Flowing Wells High School's outstanding mariachi band help us inaugurate our new building? The sky is really the limit. Please join me in sharing my excitement. Give generously to support our basic needs and enhance our programs and our outreach to our wider community. Step up and help us as we begin this new era at MVUU. And I'd like to close with a few words from Reverend Dr. Sam. She says in her ministerial letter to us, I think you have everything you need to be a church that is called for in this world today. You have the heart, the willingness, and the people. After a year of heartbreak, this is our year to more deeply invest in the hope of our beloved community. Thank you.
Should we blow it out?